everybody to this exciting webinar that we are presenting to you today. This is going to be an action-packed 60 minutes.
A 40% of success in mortgage direct mail is based on the mailing list, so I'm going to talk more about the mailing list than the pretty mail piece. The other 40% is based on the offer, and I'll say making the right offer to the right list is where direct mail works. And then the remaining 20% is based on the type of mailer you send, whether you do a letter, a postcard, whether you put color on it or a picture on it. And it seems like a lot of people get confused and invest all their time working on the mail piece and what it looks like. They don't spend enough time on the data and creating the right offer to the right data. That's where we can double and triple response rates on direct mail for a lot of mortgage clients. If you look at this slide, what we've done in our database, our homeowner database, is we've got the first name on the list, Aaron, who lives in Virginia Beach. He funded an FHA loan back in February of 2011. His loan amount was $170,000. The FHA interest rate for that month and year from HUD was 4.59%, so we have a pretty good idea of what interest rate he's paying. We know exactly what his mortgage insurance premium, what he's paying every month on mortgage insurance. So what we do is create, what his current payment is, what his MI is. His old payment's $998. Well, we show him a 5/1 ARM at 3 1/4 is what this one was based on. And we show him a $740 payment, which is $258 a month savings. And then we show him how much he's going to save per year by refinancing on this program. So this is a copy of the data, and you can see the yearly savings on some of these people. There is some, I guess what do you call it, FHA jumbo or jumbo conforming loan in here where someone's going to save $14,000 a year by refinancing. You can see these numbers in the far right column. The yearly savings is huge. So we put a lot of time into building this database with interest rates, mortgage insurance premiums, so we can really target into our letter some specific payment savings for these borrowers and make that phone ring and make sure we're mailing people that have a huge benefit. So I'm going to go through a few elements on this letter and what makes it work so well. I mean, I've done hundreds of millions of direct mail letters for the mortgage business over 20 years, and one thing I've learned is the more specific you can be in talking to these people, the better your response. So top left corner, this is the FHA conversion program, which I kind of named that about a year ago when we first started doing this mail. We want to convert them out of an FHA loan into a conventional loan. So we show this in a window envelope, FHA conversion program for Murrieta, California residents, elimination of mortgage insurance. We toll-free number the mailer so we can track it and record phone calls, customer ID codes, so you can pull the customer's name up in the data when they call you and talk about all these numbers that are on the mail piece. But you can see, if your mortgage balance is around, $200,000, here's what you're currently paying for payment for mortgage insurance and your total payment. Here's what we can do if you refinance, your new mortgage payment, no monthly mortgage insurance, and your total new payment. And then we show them, hey, Jeff, that's a monthly savings of blank and a yearly savings of blank. And, stop throwing your money away in expensive mortgage insurance. So this is, one of the letters that's been real successful for us, called this toll-free number. So we're hitting on a bunch of things. At the bottom of the letter, Dave, I know it's kind of blown up right now, we have a little cash-out offer. A lot of these FHA borrowers that have 20-25% equity in their property, they want cash out. They've rung up their credit card bills, fixing up the house, Home Depot credit cards. I mean, they've got some debt, putting window coverings in when they bought their house and blinds. I mean, they're putting the backyard in, so they have some debt. So we take their $200,000 loan amount and say, hey, we'll give you, up to 10% cash out, so $20,000 in cash for only, whatever the number is, $89 a month, which is real attractive. So they're either calling to lower their payment, calling to get out of MI, or they're calling for some cash. And those three things, a lot of different directions to take these phone calls, a lot of benefit for these people. So that's kind of the elements of the letter. This is a more expensive letter, legal size, colored, double window, 6x9 envelope. So so it's one of our more expensive packages, but for a few cents more, if you can double your response rate, it works. So this is kind of a different looking envelope. It's large, it's double window. It's expensive, but it works really well. It just looks different than a lot of other things out there, so we get a huge response rate. I mean, right now, I talk to hundreds of mortgage lenders that do direct mail every month, and I would say the average response rate in the nation right now, if you send out 10,000 letters, especially if you go to some older beat-up data like FHA Streamlines or VA Streamlines, people are getting around 30 phone calls on a 10,000 piece mailer, a 0.3 response rate. And it's hard to make money at a 0.3 response rate. I know guys that are doing it and mailing hundreds of thousands of letters and still making money, but it's a small margin for error. You better have some good loan officers that are really good at converting these calls, because you're not going to get a lot of calls. We're seeing anywhere from 50 to 100 phone calls on 10,000 mailers, 0.5% to 1%. I've got probably about 15 clients doing this around the country that are all experiencing minimum 0.5%. A little over 1% is our best. So just a great overall mailer. So here's another simple letter. I mean, we say in the mortgage direct mail business that tricky is better than pretty. You know, this is an ugly letter. People wouldn't think something like this would work. It's really cheap, and when we get down to 49, 59 cents a piece all in for postage, data, direct mail, toll-free phone number, printing. And, you know, this mailer gets a huge response rate. I mean, it's just been real successful for us. You know, it's very simple. We don't like to say a whole lot. It's a quick read. You know, with direct mail, you've got 5 seconds from, well, first try to get them to open it. And this little outside panel, important information about your FHA mortgage insurance, that gets them to open it. And then once they open it, you got 5 seconds to see if there's anything in there that they might want to call you about. So we hit them with, here's your current payment, here's your new payment, here's how much money you can save, call us. And it's just one of our more successful mailers, just, you know, cheap, simple, down and dirty, and it just makes the phone ring. It's been great. So this is a snap pack mailer. It doesn't go in an envelope, folds up, tear it, glue it type of thing.
Hey, Jeff.
The outside of the snap pack, yes.
There's a lot of questions asking which mail piece is getting the best response, and some issues about compliance. Can you address that as you're covering these particular mailers?
Sure. So we have multiple letters signed off by legal compliance, you know, in our arsenal of samples. Some clients are a little more aggressive and like to push the envelope a little, and some are like, hey, we don't want the, you know, CFPB calling us. We need to make sure this thing's signed off by everyone. So I've got all different variations of compliant letters that have been signed off by huge mortgage companies around the country. And we can give some direction on that. We know what the laws are and what we can say and not say. And you know, we encourage everyone to, you know, follow all the laws and you know, try to, you know, it's tough because if you dot every I, cross every T, you get a little bit less response rate, and people just need to know going in if they're going to, you know, not be aggressive on what interest rate they're offering. They're going to get a few less calls, and we can kind of direct you on that again, and maybe on a conference call, go through all that. What was the other question, Dave? There was
compliance on marketing and just APR and your truth in lending disclosures.
Yeah, interest rate, APR, full disclosure of the loan. If you're going to advertise a 5-year fix, you got to put it in the disclaimer. It's a 5-year fix. Here's the caps. Here's the reset date. All that's got to be in there, and we have a lot of sample mail pieces. We can show you 3 or 4 mail pieces and kind of give you, hey, here's the best response, here's the worst response, but obviously if somebody calls us, we're going to give them our best mail pieces. You know, just if you want color, if you want legal size, double window envelope, I mean, those can get up into the 60, 70 cent range, where something like this can be high 40s, you know, high 50s.
I want to call on Todd just real quick. Todd, would you address just a little bit more about some of the current approved partners that are on this call right now, just some of the responses that you've had with some of your other partners in using the direct mail marketing from Overflow?
Yeah, absolutely. We have some of the folks on the call are approved with Quicken Loans Mortgage Services, and I know that they currently have done some direct marketing mail with Overflow Works. From what I've been told, it's been great responses. The mail pieces are excellent. We've also gotten a few loans in as a direct result of paying off the FHA or converting the FHA. So it's been great. You know, I've been out in the field, I travel, and just been talking about it. And so to our approved partners, if you have not tried or used Overflow Works, I can tell you from our approved partners that do use them, it's been wonderful, and it's been a great response.